I've been collecting these for a while. Time to separate the good from the bad. These are all bits for a brace. And they're all measured in 1/16. So I don't know if you can see that one. It says 10. So that would be a 5/8. And if I grab that one, I've got that one actually marked as a 20. So it's 20/16, which is 1 inch and 4/16, which is 1 1/4 inches. But I know there's some bad ones in here. So I'm going to figure out which ones are which. And there's a bad one right there. You can see there's no little ear on that. Very little, or it's ground off. There's one with the ear on it, right there. And that is 14, so 14/16, 7/8. And some of them need sharpening better than others, and some of them have been sharpened incorrectly. So we're going to go through them. An adjustable one. One that you use for a screwdriver. The original cordless screwdriver. So, just getting into this, and I can see that some are naturally have just one cutting ear on it. But others, some dipstick has ground the ear right off of it. So I think I've got enough of them that I can just call that one scrap. Another distinguishing feature is the thread pitch. You can see that one's coarse and that one's finer. So the finer ones are usually for hardwood. Most of mine are coarse. In fact, that even might be a little bit coarse, but closer together just due to the smaller diameter of it, which would indicate its use for softwood. So the lead screw, I find the fine pitch ones are harder to find, at least in my case. And I've got one 5/16 one that's covered in wax. So it's either been professionally sharpened or it's brand new. Well, those ones are definitely scrap, and they've had one ear ground right off. In the case of this one, you can see the lead screw is busted, dull. These ones only have one ear, but they almost appear to have been made that way and not ground off. And those are the ones I'm going to try to bring back to life. One thing you don't want to do is put them on the grinder. You don't want to touch these outsides. You'll make them smaller than what they're actually marked, and they'll be useless then. Well, that's one cleaned up a little bit, ready to be sharpened. So the majority of these are coming up with the Irwin logo on it. I don't know if that's showing up. You can see the style of it. But here's one, and it's made in Lombach, Germany. It's pretty interesting to see the different solutions for the same problem. I don't know if one's any better or worse than the other, but it's just pretty interesting to see how the Irwin has a single twist with a bit on it, with a little bit over here, and then the twist ends. And the German one, it's almost like a piece of flat bar that's been twisted all the way around. And it doesn't end until he gets into the shank. That's the pile of ones that I think are beyond saving. So those ones are scrap, unfortunately. And these are the ones that I've cleaned up. And my poor little grinder, it's almost given up the ghost. So we've got in 16ths, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, only one with a 9/16, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, no 15/16. I got 4 1-inch. I even got a couple of 20/16. A big long one, a couple of screwdrivers, a countersink, and what is that one? That's another odd one, a 12 I think. And they've even got a couple of these ones that take an adjustable blade. One there, and 3 different blades for it. So there they all are. These ones nearest to me, they're all Irwins. And they've all got different stamps on them. And these are the not Irwin ones. And there's some kind of interesting ones here. I went down the rabbit hole. One just says main bore, USA. A Greenlee from the USA. A Superior Easton. A Hop from Germany. Hop or Hope. I couldn't quite make that one out. Something Iskdal. Or Iskdale. Maybe Taskdale. I'm not sure. USA. Russell Jennings Carpenter, it says on it. Made in Canada. Another German made one. Another Russell Jennings one. Right here. And 3 I couldn't make out anything on. This one says Gilpin Wedges Mills. I believe that's an English company. And Ardex in Germany. Rockford. I don't know where that one's made. More that I couldn't make out. There's an Ericsson from Sweden. This one's kind of neat. It says Our Very Best on it, and it's got quite a fancy little stamp on it. I think that one says New Raven Copper. Another Gilpin, England, and that's different from the other Gilpin, the stamp on it. Greenlee, Rockford, Illinois, USA. There's an interesting one right there. Tobin, Woodstock, Ontario, which is only about an hour away from here. Blumbach from Germany. Another Hop or Hope. Another Russell Jennings Carpenter, Canadian made one. That one just says USA on it. So, quite the interesting little collection. Again, all these ones are all Irwins, and they have a variety of different stamps on them. I don't know if they'll show up on here. That one shows up pretty good. And get you turned around here the right way. Can I get it to show up? All different kinds of Irwin stamps on them. And some of them are just letters, and some of them have like an insignia on them. There's one that shows up pretty good, just says Irwin USA on it. And some of them have logos and some of them don't. Some of them are just stamped. There's another one with a logo on it. I don't know how well that's going to show up, but I'll try to roll it around in the light a little bit. So yeah, pretty cool collection. And you know, that came from about 6 or 7 different yard sale finds and stuff, so junk shops and what have you. And I don't know, I've got maybe $20 invested there. So the ones with the nickel plating, they were nice and easy to clean up. But a lot of them didn't quite clean up as nice as I'd want to. So I've thrown everything in a plastic bucket here. And I've got just some plain white vinegar. And we're just going to let it soak. And we'll just get them right buried, if we can. And with the vinegar, we're going to add some salt just to make it more acidic. And we're going to let that sit for at least 12 hours. I'll probably let it sit overnight. And hopefully that dissolves the rust. My car's in the shop, so we've got to use what's on hand. I have to confess why I got on this bench for cleaning these up finally. It's been years. I was at our local cider fest, which is a nice little event, and there's a guy that I buy old tools off of, and he shows up, and he had one of these, and I'll probably never have a use for it, but it's just so cool. And for $40, it's a Stanley number 999, and it's a brace, and it's got a gearbox in it here. And what it is if you have to get close into a floor or something, you can actually get your full swing in there on your brace to bore a hole. And I thought that was mighty cool. And I don't think I'm going to do too much to that at all. Maybe wipe the grease off it, and that's about it. I don't think I'm going to do any restoration for that. Like I said, I'll probably never have a use for it. But when I picked it up, it was just so neat. I just had to have it. And for $40, why not? Water. Baking soda. Well, let's see what we did here. Water and baking soda neutralize the acid. That'll work. Not perfect, but it's a lot better. Yeah, it basically just rubs away. That will work. That's a lot better. Oh, focus, focus. Not too shabby. Everything's got a cursory wipe off. Got rid of our water, our baking soda. Now let's get everything back in. And as we go, I'll give them a good shot of water displacer. That should keep them until we get around to sharpening them. We'll start with the big one. Maybe a bit easier to see. on camera here. So we got an auger bit. Now all you need is regular files. Ones with safety edges are better. So here's our cutting edge. Right here. So the spur, you want to sharpen that on the same edge as the cutting edge. And this is just a small needle file, and you can get packs of them for like $10 or something. You just take a flat file, and get a nice angle on that. But this one does have the safety edge. It doesn't cut on its edge. Now, the other thing you can do is take a small file that comes to a point, and let's see what I got here, and you can clean out these threads. These ones don't look too bad. So, although the lead screw is more suited to softwood on this than hardwood, I'm going to try this out on a piece of maple and see how it works. There's the spurs, and there's the cutting. Okay, I can feel the spur coming through the other side. Back out. Flip it over. Put the spur in the hole that came through. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with that hole. That is perfect. And even the inside is nice and clean. So there we go. A whole whack more to go. And I'll have myself some nice bits for my brace. So we're getting through the auger bits, but I figured I'd better show these. We've got the spoon bits, and these things are kind of neat. They're centering bits. And the other thing I've got is, well, that's a centering bit, a rose-headed countersink. Figured I better just add that in there. We're getting slowly sharpened up and getting the collection put up there. And I'm having a hard time finding a 9/16, I believe it is. I don't have a good one. Have I tried to end this video twice already? Yeah, I have, but you keep finding out things. So one of the things I've realized is that sharpening angle there isn't really as critical as people make out to be. Just get it sharp. It seems to work. So I've got a full set there except for 12, 13, 15 sixteenths is missing. And the other thing I've found is, go over here and open up all my spare ones. The Irwin pattern seems to work better. Where's the opposite pattern? There's one. This one, just with the plain double twist on it, they don't seem to work as good as the Irwin pattern for some reason. And I think what it has to do is there's a lot more space between the flutes on that one, so it clears chips a lot better. So I prefer the Irwin pattern. The other thing that I've found out is, as you can see, I've been testing out the ones that I've sharpened. 1 1/4 inch hole through maple, it takes a little bit of work. So, the other interesting thing I have is this, and that is an extension. Your bit goes in there, you just screw it in and holds the bit in, and that goes into your auger, and it's a big long extension. So yeah, I've got some to throw away, I've got some spares, but I've got almost a full set, including a couple of adjustable ones. I have got a couple of screwdrivers and a few countersinks. Now I clean them all with, and this is made by Bow Shield, and that's got phosphoric acid in it. And then I gave them a squirt of fluid film, just for a preservative. But yeah, it seems to have worked out alright. Like I said, I got a couple of really long ones there. So there we go. The auger and drilling station, kinda sorta, all set up. Oh, and this oddball one that I showed you before that got me into this rabbit hole is a Stanley number 999. I don't know if you can see it there. Is that going to show up? I can get some light. Maybe, maybe not. But yeah, a 999. So I don't know when they were made, but I just thought it was cool and couldn't resist it, and it sent me down a rabbit hole getting my auger bits all cleaned up and a set sharpened. So I'm going to try to end this one again. Thanks for dropping by. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned a few things. And take care. Don't forget to hit the thumbs up and subscribe button. Little bell icon for notifications.